Your pain is not a coincidence. You are not a coincidence. We
are not a coincidence.
What is going on?
We need to free each other's hearts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of We Bought a Mic, a podcast about freeing each other's hearts. Today, we're talking about Ari Aster's Eddington, out now in theaters from A24, starring Joaquin Phoenix, Pedro Pascal, Emma Stone, Austin Butler, bunch of other folks.
Not endowed, as I like to call Deirdre O'Connell.
Yeah.
Definitely not endowed.
Definitely.
I definitely didn't think that for most of the movie.
Wasn't
like,
she?
is that Endowed?
She
Is
was
that-
in Hereditary, right?
Endowed was.
Yeah.
That character actor Margot Martindale?
They look so similar. It's crazy.
The beautiful landscapes of New Mexico, the desert. My name's Ernest.
You're being controlled.
Manipulated.
You're being manipulated.
It might say controlled somewhere.
I think it
on
does.
that-
I think
on
that
truck.
there's who's to say really. I am getting back from my first day on the job at Yellow Magic Carp, Golden Magic Carp, and my name is Hunter.
And I'm Drew. And what a film.
This is his follow up to Beau's Afraid, which we all loved.
yeah.
Have you guys rewatched?
No, actually, no. I did a while back with Lee, but it feels like forever ago.
I've only seen it the one time.
Rewatched this week.
Oh.
Because my girlfriend wanted to watch it. I gave her like weeks worth of warnings.
You're gonna be fucked
where
up
was
from
she
it.
at on it?
I think like 3 or 3.5 stars.
Okay, well, that's better than.
I'm still full on in like masterpiece mode. I think it's just an absolutely singular vision. I think it's so cool and funny.
I'm gonna be interested to sort of get everyone's Ari Aster rankings at the end because
I still haven't seen Midsommar.
Oh, really?
Man.
Fascinating.
I have to stop being a deadbeat boyfriend.
Yeah.
Before I can watch.
Yeah,
that.
you just
I'm
are
gonna
like
be triggered.
I just relate to him too hard.
Hunter,
like-
we should watch that. We should watch the director's
I have the
cut
director's cut.
at
Like,
your
let's
house.
we'll do a watch of the director's cut. Martin Scorsese's favorite movie of the 21st century. So, you know.
Midsommar?
Yeah.
Really?
Or at least one
Marty.
of his, he said. Yeah. He wrote a whole thing for the director's cut.
Wow.
Yeah. Good.
Oh, like a little essay in there.
Yeah.
Marty.
Well, that's something we're going to touch on a lot with Aster in general. Is that like in terms of like formal ability, he's up there with literally anybody. Like in terms of just like knowing how to shoot a fucking movie, like game recognizes game. He's as good as anyone out there.
Yeah.
Whether or not you like his scripts is up to you. You know
Well,
what
I
mean?
think especially it is. I love I love this direction that Ari is going. I'll say right now, I fucking love this movie. This is like easily one of the best movies of the year in my mind.
Hard agree.
I think this movie has a chance to age like fine wine and become a masterpiece in the same way that we have viewed some of his other works here. There's been a lot of people are going to absolutely hate this movie. And I have read some criticisms about this movie. Some of them that are making like good points that I definitely will concede to. Others that are very bad faith arguments that I kind of can't wait to engage with those. That's like you just really... the movie's kind of about you and you don't see that the movie's about you like in some ways.
Well, it's maybe they do see it and they don't like it.
Yeah, they don't like having the mirror pointing at them. But I love that Ari is basically has this blank check from A24 at this point to just make whatever is on his mind, and he is never going to take the safe route. It's the same thing like last year when we were talking about Sean Baker. It's like he's not going to go from making a Nora to go making Eternals 2. Like he's going to make his type of movies and be very true to himself. Ari is the same way, but by using genre as a vehicle to tell whatever stories they're going on, with the through line usually being some kind of general sense of paranoia. But what makes Eddington cool is that this breaks out just the internal paranoia, the I think that my house is haunted. I think that my boyfriend is cheating on me. I think that I might be schizophrenic. To being like,
hey, I wish Bo would love to learn that. He just thinks his mom is gonna murder him.
Yeah, well, that too.
I guess he's right. Arguably,
yeah.
But.
No, that he knows. It's not about what he thinks. It's about what he knows. This is more about like societal paranoia of I don't trust the person next door. I don't trust I don't trust leaving my house or this person who has different viewpoints from me. I can't wait to get into it with this movie because I think there are obvious flaws that we will get into with all of the various ideas that this movie has on its mind. But yeah, that's
Drew.
what I'm at on here.
Eddington.
I almost wish I hadn't have rewatched Bo right before because
It's too good.
it's
Eddington feels calm by comparison.
yeah, exactly.
Feels
because,
tame.
Well, just because stylistically, like Bo is just him doing like everything that he knows how to do, like all in one movie. Like it's just so much of everything. It turns into a fucking like animated movie for like 15 minutes.
Yeah. There isn't really that level.
Well,
here.
we don't have many filmmakers that have that gift of sort of like a vision of depicting things that aren't real. We don't have a lot of that. And he has that. And so it's really, really funny that his next move was to turn to hyper realism, at least for the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And so it was like a stark contrast, but generally huge fan of the movie. I like what he's doing. I like I said, beyond, storytelling, he just shoots like interesting scenes. Like he knows where to put the camera. He knows who to focus on. He knows how to cast like a motherfucker. He knows how to do director shit in a way that like I would almost be fascinated to see him someday be like a hired gun on someone else's movie just to see, because he can do anything with the camera.
He's producing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he is. But it's very like, hearing him talk about it, it's very like wanting to give other filmmakers what he has managed to get somehow on his own, which is like no one is stopping him at all. Which is absolutely nuts, especially following Bo, which was, by any metric standpoint, a failure. And he was like, let's make a movie about the thing that like no one would ever want to think about or watch.
Right. And he's already got multiple projects already lined up. It's not one of those situations where they're like, okay,
yeah,
your last movie bombed. Let's see how this one does.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
maybe they're fund him.
Yeah. And it's because he is he's a good producer.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know what I mean? Like he knows how to like be in the meetings and like make, get shit working.
He makes Joaquin stay on set.
It's kind of like the
and not leave.
Wachowskis. Like the Wachowskis are good at selling their own shit. And so they keep getting to, even though they shouldn't. And
Ari is also, like, to your point, he is out here working. With every movie that he does, he is getting through all of the pressers.
Yeah, he does so much press for a guy that doesn't seem like he likes talking at all.
But
I think he's getting better at it.
No,
he does press, but he does it in like an artful way where he's not either like over explaining himself. Like he's not doing like one of my complaints with The Brutalist last year, which is like, we're going to like thesis out everything that you were trying to say right now. Like he's grown very comfortable in the interview and in the podcast
and he doesn't
space.
mind like knocking the movie down a little bit.
When I don't know,
there's a little bit of self-deprecation in there.
Yeah,
he does the entire circuit of like middle brow like film, like YouTube channels and podcasts. Like his big picture interviews are always incredible. I found so many random YouTube film pages where like whoever the host is asking really like good questions, clearly Ari. Thoughtful. It's a video with like 12,000 views, and Ari's just chopping it up for like 25 minutes. And it's just, I don't know, this movie's good. Like it's so out of left field for what you would expect from this guy, but also following Bo, you could have told me anything. Like he clearly has he has such a deep bag, formally speaking, that like it's just what he wants to write. That's the only question.
Bo is a stepping stone movie. It's like the best stepping stone movie ever made, just because of how wacko, crazy, bizarre it is. But it was a sort of a flag of like, hey, I'm not just a horror guy. I can do other shit. And so it leads perfectly into Eddington.
Bo is like 12 stepping stone movies because it's like it's kind of 5 different movies. Right. So it's like which direction do you want to go this time? We can go anywhere. Yeah.
Not that, you know, it's not a horror movie. It is, and not that Eddington's not a horror movie, because it definitely is.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You guys mentioned the look of the movie. Got to give a massive shout out to Darius Kanji, who shot this thing. He shot 7.
Yeah, one of the goats.
He shot. I mean, he shot a ton because he's been around forever. But more recently, he shot fucking Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
Yeah. So like
Uncut Gems.
Just a cool dude.
Mickey 17, which we saw. Hey, your favorite Bardo?
Hey. Yo!
A false chronicle of a handful of truths.
Well, you know,
is that really?
You can't have.
Is that really the tagline?
That's the name of the movie. Is Bardo, comma.
Oh yeah, it's Bardo, comma.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and you.
Oh my god.
And I was on an island for thinking that movie was fucking garbage. Okay.
James Gray's The Lost City of Z, which is a beautiful
That's a
looking
gorgeous
film.
movie. Gorgeous.
A false chronicle of a handful of truths.
That's.
hey.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no.
Did you know that's
the worst autobiography you've ever read?
Did you know that it could be a little bit difficult to be a great man? You know, it might be a little bit hard.
Let me tell you, if I could tell you how conflicted I am that Tom Cruise is like, I'm coming back as a serious actor, and it's with Alejandro and
monkey paw curls.
That's tough. It's the two sides of me are at war with each other.
You know who taught me it's hard to be a great man? Joe Cross.
Joaquin Phoenix giving, I think, the performance of the year. I love Tim Robinson.
He's not.
In Friendship, right? Literally every movie that he makes.
Every year that he has been in something, at least since we've been doing our critic ballots, he has been on the ballot.
And it's so funny coming off of Bo because
which I think remains my personal favorite of the two, perhaps.
Well, it's funny
just
because
so out there.
Well, and also, I mean, it was very clear to me the directive that Ari was giving, you know, in Beau is Afraid, which is like, this is a nightmare. Like, this is dream logic. You act how you act in a dream. And the result is like, in that movie, Joaquin can't even say words most of the time. He's like whimpering. He doesn't say a ton.
Yeah.
Right.
And it reminds me so much of a dream where like, for some reason you have a hard time talking.
Yeah.
In this, I don't know. It's just so, for a guy who does get penciled into these like weirder, you know, roles, this shows a lot of range to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? This is a different type of weirdo.
He's playing, like, for most of the world outside like coastal elitists like us that have podcasts, like a very recognizable guy, a guy that like we all know, whether we're like close friends with this person or not. He is playing somebody who is relatable in some way. At least he's playing like he is a human, initially.
He's a human being.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
He is at
like,
least initially,
and I mean that's kind of the beginning and end of like why people would get upset with this movie, is because it humanizes the people who are wrong and the people who are right, and also arguably no one's even right.
Yeah, and like, I think to that point, like it's asking you to be empathetic with this guy, and I think that is kind of that's the magic of Joaquin, and this is that. Joaquin is going to do some things. He's going to have some beliefs that you just have to be along with because he's the main character.
Yeah, you're watching him. And if also, I mean, Ari, like I wouldn't, Ari Aster isn't the type of writer to make you assume like, oh, that must mean that like he's co-signing this guy. No, he's fucking not. Of course he's not. Like this guy's out of his fucking mind.
I don't know, man. There's like that goes back to the whole argument of like people who are like, I don't like to watch movies where I can't relate to the main character.
Right.
If I don't like the main character, then why would I like the movie? It's like you've never done critical thinking in your life before, have you?
Yeah.
Like you're like, I only like things that look like me and people who share my beliefs. And so, I'm sorry, the movie's kind of about you then. Like and you should look at it.
I agree. Generally speaking, I think because this movie is about like it's about peak COVID era, and it's about a
May
sheriff.
2020.
Yeah, and it's about like a conservative, like anti-mask sheriff going up against a liberal pro-mask mayor who also sucks for his own reasons.
Anti-mask, but like also he is somebody who does like have asthma. He's like, I can't breathe whenever I'm wearing the mask, which was like a whole argument in itself.
Exactly.
COVID times.
There are so many times where Ari could have given us an easy out early on to knowing this guy just purely sucks. You know what I mean? If, for example, if we happen to know he didn't have asthma really early on, the whole audience watching in a theater would be on the same page. Like, oh, okay, he sucks. But no, he wants this person to be nuanced, even if he's still a cartoon character and insane. I think it's interesting. And I think part of the polarization of this movie almost comes from the fact that we all, you know, everyone right now is watching it in a theater, where this movie is allowing space for multiple reads on it. And so it almost does a really effective job of recreating the anxiety of the COVID era just within your theater.
Right. Because you don't know where people stand.
Yeah, exactly. Because you are you are thinking about your own reaction to everything going on. You're like, if I laugh at that, am I fucked up?
Right.
Like, if I just heard this guy chuckle, like, is he laughing for the right reason, or is he a fucking piece of shit?
Right. Who did he vote for?
It is, yeah, like it's allowing for the first like hour
That's
plus,
so
it's allowing a ton of space for the whole audience to be laughing for completely different reasons and not even realizing it. And so like I found myself super anxious in the theater just because of that.
The come up is intense.
I really am excited to rewatch this just alone, just to try to take it in as a film. But I kind of appreciated that after the fact. I was
How
like, wow,
full was the theater you saw it?
It was a really small theater and it was totally full.
Oh, really?
That's cool. Look at that.
Really small theater.
Was it the Regal or the?
Yeah, it was at the Regal, and it was a tiny.
Interesting.
It was like the
one of the
tiniest
small
theater.
ones. It's only like 30 seats.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, and like,
I mean, we live in like a fairly kind of blue dot in Florida,
totally.
So,
but I can see
chances are.
But it's such, you know, theaters bring a social aspect into watching movies, and so I can absolutely see your theater experience totally coloring how you feel about the movie, and I wouldn't hold that against you because like. Like that feels like it's like baked into how the movie works. You know what I mean? I don't think that
bracing yourself for something.
I found myself, like having to power through certain moments and be like, I am allowed to know how I feel about this and not worry about whether or not everyone else gets it, because this isn't art for babies.
Yeah. Well, also, I think to that
That's
point,
so true.
One of the things, and I want to get into specifics once we get into the actual spoilers of the movie, but to its wider point, why this is successful as a movie is this is forcing you to actually look at yourself on whatever side of the party line that you fall on. It is having you look at something, and even if it's fucking stupid, acknowledging that like you need to have some kind of sense of self-awareness, because this movie at its core is really about how we put ourselves in these thought bubbles on the internet and we insulate ourselves with the fucking specific type of brain rot that only appeals to the things that we already have that we agree with in our mind, or worse, what we don't even necessarily agree with, but what our friends agree with. So then we have to agree with those things. And then we get in conversations with each other, and they're not even conversations. We're talking past one another.
Just words.
Just waiting for our chance to talk, to get out our own thoughts.
Now, I hate to say that maybe that's like exactly what we're doing right now.
Yeah, like that's what we're doing on a podcast. We're talking
welcome back to We
earnest.
Bought a Mic.
Yeah,
we are all agreeing on
I think that this,
I know it's again.
I think that
And
this
I am a white man, and I can't wait to sit down and not stop talking once I'm done giving this speech.
Did we forget to do the land acknowledgement before we started the pod this week?
I think that this movie, you know, you mentioned the line, right? I think this movie is about the line. It's about how the internet forced every single person in America to take a side on this line. And it's something that really crept up because obviously we've lived with the internet to some extent for decades, right? But it really ramped up with the pandemic in a major way. And what the pandemic did is it exacerbated this issue that was already prevalent of people being unable to live in the world separate from the internet. And it collapsed the digital world with the real world in so many ways that now 5 years later, like, we're not even thinking about. It just is. But at this time, like, being unable to be close to people to avoid infection and having to experience everything through the internet, it accelerated that process that had already been ongoing.
Like the country like broke fully.
But yes, exactly. So what this movie really explores, and the genius on Aster's part to set it in this small town, basically in the middle of the desert, is to really showcase that no matter where you are in America, if you are exposed to the internet, your brain will be poisoned.
Mm-hmm.
And that's such a genius angle for essentially like a horror conspiracy thriller movie. And he's fully leaning into it. Like, this movie doesn't really shy away from it. And I think that a lot of people are not really grappling with that idea, and they're sort of dismissing the data center as like this unresolved plot thread, when that is just that is the core of the story. Is this predatory just succubus on this community that at one point in time, pre-internet, didn't have to choose a side of a line. They could have just lived with disagreements in this gray area. And now we can't.
Because we have this little thing with us that we are constantly perpetuating our own thoughts and our own beliefs.
This is the villain of the story.
And that's, I mean, I think because a lot of people have also been talking about the AI side of the story and how this does kind of come back to AI. And that is true. I didn't really necessarily get the AI specifically being part of the villainy of this movie. I might watch it as much as the algorithm. Like, this is a movie that's what it's data mining. It is,
but
just
it's all becoming one.
It's because we say something out loud about like, yo, fuck Trump. So then we have some shit pop up in our Twitter and then we retweet that. And now look, we're getting all these sponsored emails coming our way. It's that kind of
the feedback loop.
It's the feedback loop that you get sucked in because of data mining, because we are constantly getting our data stolen and resold and repackaged back to us as a fucking Amazon Prime Day deal, that we are stuck in this loop that we can never break out of. And so why would we think, like, you see a movie like this, or just kind of get into this thought process of this feedback loop that you get into, and it's like, yeah, no fucking wonder Trump won again. Like, it's kind of a movie that is, it's pointing up the mirror, and I think that's a thing that a lot of people are reacting negatively to. It'd be interesting to know what the reaction to this movie would have been in a Kamala presidency, because I think it would have been very different as it is now.
Yeah, that's a great point.
But like, I think that that's informing a lot of the negativity behind it, because people are like, I just don't want to look at this. I don't want to relate to these people. And it's like,
much.
That's the point, is because we are so far beyond wanting to look at each other as human beings anymore that the line is fucked. It's done. It's concrete now at this point.
If I were to give like a double feature here, it would probably be this, and then the Jubilee video that just came out of all those fascist white guys debating the one liberal. It really is. It's just like so insanely heightened, and it, like I said, it's giving. By the way, Ari Aster absolutely watches those videos, like 100%. I will never fucking click on those. Ari's a big Tim Pool guy. I just know. Those are like, that's some of the most abhorrent, disgusting content you could ever make. And it does, like, if I can acknowledge that some legitimacy in the counter argument to this movie, which is like, when the other side truly has no empathy for you, and like in a lot of cases wants you dead, why would I watch something that is trying to make me feel empathy for them? And I'd say the reason is just because, like, if you want to like be a person, like empathy leads to understanding. Like, don't you, don't you want to understand why people are like this? Like that's what this movie is trying to do. It's trying to give you like a window into why these idiots can be so easily weaponized.
Yeah.
And it works for that. It really does. I think, it's a good call because I think the word AI might be said like very passionately like one time, and it's because AI was not a used term in 2020.
Right.
Like you said, it's an algorithm thing. The algorithm is arguably AI. Definitionally, like AI is just like
it's all becoming
high powered, like
it's all
adaptable
becoming
computing.
one thing.
Yeah, like, but yeah, I think that's what the movie's trying to do, and I think it's a lot more noble in a way to make something like this rather than like Sorkin flavored politics, which are creating a fantasy.
Yeah.
And I would rather acknowledge reality and not present any solutions than create a fantasy where like people can meet in the middle. No, they can't. They honestly never could. It's just, it was a lot easier to pretend. Well, now it's not. You can't pretend anymore.
But I think there was a middle at one point. Like people used to be able to live I'm not saying that like people could meet in the middle, but more people existed in a middle, or maybe
no, exactly. It was like a blissful ignorance. It was like because generally there was like everyone felt a bit more removal from this stuff because you weren't getting like it thrown into your eyes from your phone all day. You were allowed to like not have hard stances on this stuff.
Yes, on every little thing.
Yeah,
everything.
and when you're forced to, what you find out is like, oh my God, there's a lot of people that want to like kill immigrants.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. I think they were always there.
Yeah.
I think we just didn't have to know them.
Yeah.
And now we do. Now they all have the ability to say that all day.
Now they're in Congress.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so I think that's sort of what the movie's speaking to is like these people were always like this, but now they have the mechanism to very publicly be like this.
Yeah. So I think to that point, one thing that I've been kind of thinking of a lot about this movie, and I know right now we've only been talking about like what the movie means and like how it makes us feel without even talking about the movie itself. But
we did the same with Superman.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I think though, like for me at least, because I've heard a lot of people talk about how this movie made them feel very hopeless. This movie to me is deeply nihilistic, but this is not a hopeless movie. I think that this movie, it's like what Ari isn't making this movie be like, God, we're all so fucking fucked. Like, I think that this movie is like, we are never going to move past this until we look at ourselves, until we hold the mirror up and see like all the things about ourselves. And that's not to say that Ari is like true centrist, because also this movie definitely falls down on one side being worse than the other.
Yeah.
Like we'll get into it, but like, I think that's one thing that's interesting. Like if we're going to talk about the left side, like we are a liberal podcast here. We're just some coastal elite boys. This movie, I think that always Ari Aster has a lot of thoughts about cancel culture. Like that was a big thing that made me think about a lot, not just with the way of the like social justice warriorification of certain political events, but even just the idea of like, what makes somebody canceled? How many times have we in our own like chats with each other been like, I think this guy was canceled, but I can't remember why. And like when somebody's canceled for like tweets that they made when they were 13 and someone's canceled for doing rape, then maybe we should find different fucking words.
Yeah. But you didn't like Superman.
Culture.
But you didn't like Superman.
Like it's, I mean, honestly, the Eddington or the little I don't know, like interdimensional prison monkeys would have fit in well in Eddington, New Mexico.
Yeah. Hashtag secret harem.
Yeah.
No,
that actually is the workers of Golden Magic right there. Or the little
That's what's
the
in the
little
data
monkeys.
center.
You're right.
It's just a bunch of little monkeys typing out racist tweets.
You're super right, and I think that it's something that the left in general has like improved upon since 2020, like being able to figure out what is just performative versus like what is actually doing something. Most of the people, like the people on the left who have problems with this movie are like soft liberals. Like it's not like the actual left. You know what I mean? It's not like leftists.
Yeah.
I haven't seen leftists who are upset with this movie. It's the people who, you know what I mean? It's the people who are just on one side.
Well, I've also seen a lot of heavy negative takes from people who feel like this movie doesn't tackle COVID in a serious enough way. And I I'm not going to defend the movie's choices on COVID and Ari Aster's choices, because at the end of the day, it's like, it's an artistic expression more so than like an actual documentary.
Yeah, it's not Contagion. Like, it's
Right.
not about the virus. It's about the virus's impact on people.
Yeah,
in society.
and I understand that, this movie may not be like the most accurate depiction of like how we should have handled COVID or whatever.
That's so stupid.
But I have seen some takes where people think that like this movie comes down on the side of like masks are pointless, or stuff like that, like very like kind of apathetic stuff around COVID. I think that COVID is not the point of this movie. It is a entryway into much deeper like societal problems that were exacerbated by the pandemic.
Yeah, and that's what that's a lot of what COVID did in real life. Is it was its own like massive problem, but it also did it in real time, and everyone was talking about this. It was an accelerator on so many issues.
Right.
Like, it did cause so much upheaval so quickly. So yeah, we don't need, and it doesn't need to be about
the other thing is, and we'll talk about this more in detail in spoilers, but some of like the kind of the Black Lives Matter type stuff, like the activism stuff, that it's a little too watered down and it doesn't engage with it, kind of deep enough. But I think that for what Ari's trying to do for these characters in this story, like that's kind of the point.
I think that is, I have seen that criticism in particular levied against it, and I get what they're saying, because they want the true social justice warrior movie.
Right.
Like,
but that's not who's living in this
fake
town.
Exactly. They want to see I'm just throwing they want to see like the Spike Lee version of the George Floyd protest.
The real shit,
they want to see something like that.
Ain't nobody in Eddington.
Guess what? I don't want to see Ari Aster make that movie. Like, I don't think he's the one to make that. Well, and that's why I think that it is a very astute choice to be like, no, I want to see what the fucking people in this town of 3,000 people that are mostly white, middle to upper class are doing during
far
this.
away. Like, they're just getting their shit from their fucking social media accounts. This isn't happening in their community.
It's also just to that point, because we gotta, we gotta just get into the plot. We're doing the thing that I hate about like music reviews, when they talk about everything but the music. But really quick, to that exact point, I spent a lot of time thinking about the character Sarah in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The girl.
Yeah, who is this, like a
Which, by the way, I have as the thing on Letterboxd where you can change the banner. It's her doing her little TikTok dance doing me when I finish reading James Baldwin's Giovanni's Room.
That's really funny.
It's so funny.
So fucking funny.
I think that she's a good, like, you might not think about it on first watch, but she is a really great window into like generally the ethos of the movie, because she is doing that shit, the really, really corny white liberal
one like equals
activism
one
stuff.
Performative.
Yeah, she's performative. She's doing like, she spends a lot of time doing the language policing stuff that is like really funny to watch, where she's like, I wouldn't say that we're like
anti-racist.
It's just stuff like that. Yeah.
We're working our way there.
Like, however, here's the thing though, because like I could see watching that in like surface level being like, oh, so you're saying that's like just as bad as being like Joe Cross. And no. Here's the thing. This almost everyone in this movie, even like some of the more liberal characters like Ted or whatever, they are all like soulless, like opportunists.
Yeah.
They are seeking to gain something from these issues, from their relation to these issues. And Sarah might be gaining some sort of social clout, but she's not depicted at all as somebody who's trying to do that. Like, she is someone who like has a heart in this movie.
She is trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, it's just misguided.
Yeah.
And I think generally that's sort of the stance on like all the like sort of the white liberalism in this movie is like, it might be misguided, but it's not like evil most of the time, unless you're Ted and you're like in the pocket of developers. But like, she is, for example, you know what I mean? Like her teary speech to Michael, like during the protest, because she knows that
it's
like
a great scene.
Yeah, and she genuinely cares about him. She's like, I'm like, as a person, like, why aren't you here with, like, she is a person with a heart in a movie that has like almost none.
Yeah.
And I think that if you, I don't know, if you're willing to like see that point, you realize that he's not trying to both sidesism this, you know? He's trying to make fun of just everyone.
I do think that there is, even with the Sarah character, there is a big thing in Ernest. Shout out to you guys, did a good job talking about this on a pod about Eddington that you did before this own pod, and it's okay, we forgive you. Films for breakfast.
I was called in as an emergency.
You're recruited. No, it's okay.
I had to fly in on my private jet. Drop in.
You're a real crisis actor, just right there to come and save the day. No, one thing that you guys kind of talked about on that pod, which is very pronounced, especially as this movie was sitting with me, is even from like Sarah's side and from all the white liberal side, the picking and choosing your social battles is such a very sharp point that this movie makes. Like, during these protests that are happening, there's actively a homeless person that's walking in between the crowd, and they're like, ooh, get away from me, I don't have any money. Like, you're actively taking a knee because like, and sitting in silence for
because your phone told you to.
There's a homeless guy who's right there who needs your help, and you're like, ooh, you're disgusting to me. Like, not dealing with this other issue.
Exactly.
That is something that actively everybody, liberals, Republicans, conservatives, like everywhere, just actively, you have the blinders on to only the issues that you are told to care about because it's a trending topic on Twitter.
Yeah, and it's, what is his name, the homeless guy? It's like a word. It's like a verb, I think. But
I'm not sure.
It's a good window into the movie in general, and in real life.
Lodge. Oh wait, no.
Yeah.
No, that can't be right.
I think it is. I think it's Lodge. In real life, this is extremely true. That, like, looking at how
it's Lodge.
How? Oh my God, played by Clifton Collins Jr., the fucking legend. I did not realize that was him. Go ahead.
Because you didn't really see him, did you?
Oh shit.
This is like a very sort of profound window that I think I think it's just a function of Ari being very observant, but watching how people view the unhoused like is a really, really good window into their true like political identity.
It's a major through line throughout the entire film.
And in this movie, very correctly so, just about everyone is in the wrong with how they deal with this guy. Well, let's
get into spoilers. I have so many thoughts on that.
Yeah.
So this is your warning. If you haven't seen Eddington, we're going to spoil it. If you don't care, you can keep listening. But if you do care, go see it. Come back.
If you were a conservative person, I really want to know your thoughts on this movie.
Leave a comment.
Like,
we're going to spoil it.
I mean, if you're
right leaning,
genuinely, if you're like really dumb, I'm sure seriously you could love it.
Yeah.
Like,
you're like, I think it's cool to gild them in.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, the fucking.
I did find those liberals annoying.
Fuck Antifa.
Yeah. It's actually Antifa.
Yeah, like you can, if you're really dumb, you can read it as like, that all happened. That's fucked up.
Be like, God, I'd move to Gainesville too.
Yeah, guy who. Guy who sees the third act of this movie and he's like, I knew it. I knew Antifa would fly in on their private jet.
It's really like I was
and attack the good people of Eddington.
He's allowing for a truly dumb person to really think that. Like,
it's like, well, what about him, Murray? Well, it's like, well, Antifa clearly just took over his body. And he shot the mayor. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
He shot the fucking lib. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Okay. I need to know. You said this theater was full. Mm-hmm. What was final warning, spoilers.
Demographic?
What was the reaction to Pedro getting shot?
I mean,
gasps.
Yeah.
Just like,
because it also is like
everything sucked out.
It's like almost a scare. Like, it is like very jarring. Like Ari is, he's good at horror. He knows how to he's not warning us at all.
Yeah.
It's a shock moment.
Such a cool moment.
It's a jump.
One of the best moments of any movie this year, because you're kind of expecting something to happen.
Well, that's
you
the
really
thing.
need the movie to take a turn.
Yeah, a lot. It's been a lot of sort of like meandering. Not that nothing's happening.
Especially you just rewatch Bo. You're like,
man,
I know what this fucking guy can do.
And we know that this isn't going to be a horror movie. But it's like, I saw the trailer. I saw guns.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But that could just be the very end. Yeah, it's out of absolutely nowhere, and it is a gas moment. And also, Ari is really good at this. He's good at like giving you time to think about what just happened before he reveals what just happened.
Yeah.
And so you get probably like 30 seconds
with the sun before the sun gets.
Well, you get like 30 seconds before you know who did it.
Yeah.
And so like part of me was thinking maybe Michael did, because they're setting up him being a weirdo at a shooting range for the whole movie.
Yeah.
What if he really did do it?
Right.
And obviously they end up using that later.
Right.
You
At
know.
the very end.
Yeah, but like it gives you time to be like, did Joe really just fucking like everything's about to get fucking nuts. It's awesome.
And the movie just goes from there.
I think also it's even better because it makes the season with Pedro that precedes it, which is already fucking incredible, go up another level. That the last real scene that we get with Pedro is the Baby You're a Firework Katy Perry party scene. So
Wabammy
fucking
entry.
funny.
That's
so
needle drop.
goddamn funny. Yeah, honestly, it's gonna be tough to beat that as the best needle drop of the
He
year.
keeps going back to turn it off. And then the
turn it
slap.
down.
Oh,
Yeah.
2 slaps.
And it's the slap. It's
2
after
lib
the-
slaps.
To the point about like Joaquin maybe being the greatest actor alive right now, you can see that there's like something behind his eyes that changes with the second slap. Like there's just like something dies in there. And then he just doesn't say another word until he shoots the mayor. Like that's it.
When it's also the realization that like he no longer he's lost this race.
Yeah.
The fact that his wife made that video, and you know what I mean? Like it's over.
Yeah.
You're cooked. So he's lost the race, and also like he's going there to do like actual police work and getting slapped in the face. He's like, oh, so I'm like, my whole life is like done.
Yeah.
Like,
I have to kill him.
Yeah, any sense of identity I had is now gone. I might as well just like kill everybody.
I'm glad that you brought up the wife bit because another
Emma Stone.
Another thing that you guys brought up on the pod was the parallels between this movie and Friendship. For
a guy who can't hang.
Did you bring up the wife? The whole movie, I'm
specifically-
thinking that's the
No,
wife.
honestly, that is the biggest connection that they have between each
Kate
other.
Mara
Is because
and Emma Stone? Yeah.
I hate to say it, but our guy would absolutely make a video making up that his wife was raped by a person that he did not like in order to win an election.
Yeah.
Like that is a Craig Robinson. That's something that his character
That's an I
would
think you
do.
should leave sketch. Yeah.
Like the darkest sketch ever. That's on like season 10 of I Think You Should Leave. But it's such like a fucked up idea. But even that is just when he's so down bad that he's doing his press conference in the combination Mexican Greek restaurant.
Now open at 50% capacity.
Here's another.
So many little things that are in here. They're just like, Ari, you're fucking genius.
I gotta say, a lot of my my affection and also like anxiety around this movie is based on my job in local government. Like there's a lot of that in this movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like the actual
Dude, the video.
Yeah, the actual
The campaign.
Do you ever have to fear
when my wife walked out on me and my son. It's so funny.
the dramatic?
It's the reenactment.
Have you ever had to worry
Dude, I was
about
dead.
your boss just hopping on a Facebook Live and just like free range, just like going off the dome? You don't know what's coming out of there.
It just it is so again, it's just like a sharp-eyed observer is what Ari is.
Yeah.
But like if you were going to go after like some, the Ted character, like a soft L liberal in local government, the thing that would be wrong with him is that he would be in the pocket of developers.
Right.
That is exactly how local
With no
government works.
pushback. Bro isn't even trying
It
to
is-
be like, hey, can we cut
And-
a little
and-
bit for the people?
no.
Like I'm very lucky that I can say this because I genuinely happen to work for one of the only county commissioners ever who
Doesn't do that,
is
yeah.
not funded by local developers.
Yeah.
That is the rest of all of local government.
And
No
all-
matter what party they are
Yes.
that because
All
development.
Dems here.
Yeah, man. Development continues to be one of the only truly profitable enterprises left like on earth. In particular, this is a perfect marriage because it's also like a data center.
Right.
So it's two of the only profitable things yet. If anyone could buy a mayor in a small town, because also small town municipal governments, they actually don't really get paid. to do those jobs.
Right.
Like even the mayor, they're not getting like good salary at all. It's like
maybe like 20K or something.
less than that in a lot of cases. A lot of the time it's borderline volunteer positions. Like it's like nothing. So yeah, that's how they make money, is they sell their soul. Like they sell their, their position, their opinion on a project.
Yeah. They're of approval power.
Yeah, it's
for these projects.
It's so sharp, and it's really funny because
and it's insanely common. That's the other thing, is it's everywhere. It's so commonplace to have the mayor of whatever municipality just be in direct contact with whatever businessman wants to build whatever thing.
Yeah, the older like shadowy figure who's just always around Pedro. Really interesting character who gets like almost 0 lines, but the fact that he's always there
and he's there at the end,
1000%. Yes, that guy. I know 10 of that guy. They just fucking loiter around the building I work in. It's crazy.
And Ted, he knows that he's probably not doing the right thing, but the fact that he doesn't have like apprehension towards it is everything you need to know. And there's so many details with his character that I think are fascinating, where he's never positioned as villainous. He's never positioned as conniving or scheming. He's kind of just going along with the flow of this and doing his quote unquote best to lead this town. But you can kind of tell that he resorts every decision back to, I'm pissed that my wife left me and I have a son to raise. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like most people, which is what Ari's trying to say here. Like he's very opportunistic.
Yeah.
Like he owns that bar, right?
Probably.
Yes. I think
so
that's the
he didn't,
implication.
the house he lives in is not got by owning a bar.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he uses, his clout. He uses his perceived stance on issues
to get a lot of toilet paper.
To gain power. Yeah. Incredible. Yeah. The quick pan past the amount of toilet paper he has. You're like, oh, this guy sucks. He sucks. Like it's just great. It's great because it's accurate, and it really impressed me because, like I said, Ari is known for the opposite of this, which is like making stuff up.
Yeah. Well, no,
the fact that he is so good at observing reality too is like, you're a genius.
Well, I think that also goes to show like that's lived in experience, that Ari lived in a small town in New Mexico, and like when going back and doing research of this, he grew up there.
Yeah.
Well, he was like born in, I think, New York.
Yeah, he was. So
and then,
he like did not. He said a lot. He did not like New Mexico.
But he spent like a few years there in a small town in New Mexico, so he witnessed a lot of this completely firsthand. That he is seeing this exact relationship they're having there. I think also to the point about Ari, one thing that very, very smart choice about this movie is we do not have to spend an exorbitant amount of time empathizing with the Pedro character, because he is more recognizable to the majority of people, where he just seems like good enough, and there's enough there on the surface that like we can after the fact kind of interrogate some of his deeper politics and some of the things that he was being drawn towards. But I think that is a very smart choice from a storytelling perspective, that this movie is, for all intents and purposes, like through the eyes of Joaquin. We are with him, whether we want to be with him or not, and we are with him.
Yeah, and it's very much like the 2010s discourse around like anti-hero characters. It's like, yeah, he's just kind of more interesting. Like I'd rather be around him. I do understand I wrote it down after watching it, and since then I've heard a couple similar takes, so I can't claim it unfortunately, but like the idea that even though like I'll watch Joaquin do anything. I'll literally watch him read a dictionary, but like maybe he wasn't the very best choice for this role, because like it may have been more interesting if it was someone that I trusted.
You like inherently
but no one
trust him
you don't look at him and trust him. That's not Joaquin's magic trick.
There's something kind of charismatic though about Joaquin that I still want to go on the journey with him, even if I don't trust him.
Well, that's the thing.
He is magnetism.
You're following him really, really fast. His relationship with his wife, who is Emma Stone, is incredible. Every single depiction of it is some of the most fascinating stuff. And on top of that, Deirdre O'Connell, their mother-in-law, being forced by by COVID to live in their living room. It's all so well rendered. It's so thoughtful. It's so organic. Emma Stone, I will go ahead and say, is I think she's the best living actress.
Hey, Begonia coming soon.
Yeah. I mean,
she doesn't get that much to do here, but
no, but that's the
there's
thing.
a presence.
She's like a ghost, like haunting the movie. Like it's at points.
The fact that she can do that is kind of it only helps your argument.
It's the fact that she can do that. The range.
Yeah.
To play this like unbelievably uncharismatic, like like willing to like get down and dirty, like she's wearing zero makeup in the movie. The fact that she makes choices like this and also like is able to do the big stuff, like she's as good as it gets. She's so good. It's crazy.
Yes, I also think, like, kind of going off of your point, like how normal she kind of makes herself, like how much, like almost forgettable she makes herself in a movie like this, down to the sequence that we have later on in the movie where Joaquin thinks that it's her standing in the room and it's actually her mother. Like she's that much of like a, I don't want to say it, she's like a nothing person, because she is like this deeply important person to Joaquin, but like she is somebody who doesn't have really a lot of definable traits, purposefully so. Yeah, and that's what makes her so receptive when like there's an Austin Butler comes around that can sweep you off your feet in a minute.
Oh, I'd be gone. I'd be on that bus, dude.
Like
that guy comes around.
Yeah.
I hope that's
come here to my husband, Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. I'll have him touch me.
Ari has said that there's a spinoff that he's working on.
Oh, it's definitely that. Yeah. Come on, give it to me.
By the way, talk about a guy who like is confident in his ability to get movies produced. Like, hey, this very like unsuccessful movie I just made. Yeah, I'm making a sequel.
I love that whole subplot just because of like my recent exploration into QAnon by watching a 6-hour documentary on HBO about it.
Oh no.
So
you've joined Q since then, right?
Yeah, I am Q actually.
Okay, yeah,
I've taken on the mantle.
It's not home box office. It's a different HBO.
We are not a coincidence. You are not a coincidence. You are not a coincidence.
It's great because also like she like was like she is a victim. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that's why it's great, is because she is not like an insane person for getting swept up in this other guy who's created an organization of victims. Like it's a guy taking advantage of people. Clearly he fucking impregnates her, but like I think that's a really sort of incisive move, is like whatever little random like branch you go down in your internet wormhole, especially during COVID, like
there's something for you.
There might, and there also like might be a kernel of truth in it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like it's not necessarily all just like insanity. It's like, yeah, no, she's a victim and she found the guy who's like trying to capitalize on victims.
It also was obsessed with Epstein. Like that's like one of their biggest things.
Yeah.
It's real.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It is funny, to your point. The thing that I kept thinking about when watching this movie, and maybe it's because I just watched it pretty recently, was I just kept hearing from Bo Burnham's Inside the internet song "Welcome to the Internet" can I interest you in everything all the time, because that's what this movie is that it's just like there is something for you, whether it is going down this rabbit hole. I think to that point, she may have been molested and or raped by Pedro's character whenever she was a child. Where her leaving came in was her husband taking the agency out of it and using it as like a political talking point more than even actually trying to connect with her about this real issue that they have. Because very clearly, like, I don't know, I got the impression that he had never once tried to understand her or like her background, or if she had been like sexually assaulted or harassed or anything like that, until it became something for his own personal gain. Again, going back to the friendship point of like, this is a person who lives in their own insular world, and they see everybody in their life as like just a pawn for themselves.
Yeah. I also,
not inherently even selfish way, just in like a dumb guy way.
I think that what the movie is pretty explicitly communicating is that she wasn't assaulted by Pedro at all. I think she was just getting raped by her dad.
I think
That's-
I think that is the case, but I think that either way, like it doesn't matter who she was getting molested by. It
I
was
think there's a
somebody
chance.
using-
I think there's a chance that it maybe wasn't either of them, and it was somebody that we never met.
I think it was very clearly her dad, because I think that sort of feeds into why she is so dissociative, that her mother, who very clearly will not admit it, like which is a very common thing. Like the mom who does know it will not openly admit it. She's on the
They have a shrine of him in the middle.
Yeah, she has to
There's
look
a
at her
shrine
dad
to her
yeah.
abuser in her own home.
It was like killed too soon, so
I think Deirdre O'Connell is playing a really like well realized character for that reason. Again, that's just like a very like thoughtful, not commonly depicted side of abuse, is like those closest to the abuser being in total denial of it. But also the way,
Shout out to the pit.
The way that she has written dialogue that is just meant to overlap everything everyone else is saying at all times is like, that's just like great observational screenwriting by Ari. Like she's, you know what I mean? Like I've met so many of those people. A lot of the time it is like an older person who just like sort of mumbles when everyone else is talking. They're just like, oh no, I guess just no one cares about me. Like it, that is a thing. And it's also something that's not depicted in film because it's hard to depict, because you can't hear what people are saying.
Ari loves to do that though, the crosstalk, and he's kind of the master at it. Like there's multiple sequences in this movie where it'll either be people talking over each other, or it'll be like a radio or TV that's playing something, and it's mixed just loud enough that it's interfering with the actual dialogue of the people that you're hearing. And so you don't know who I should be listening to in this scene right now. It causes a sense of disorientation.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's very like internet brain, but it also is like, it also plays into like his process, which like, at least historically has very much been like, he has everything mapped out, but like also day of, he wants to figure other stuff out.
Which was apparently hell on Bo.
Yes.
But for this one, maybe not so.
Yeah.
Learn some lessons maybe.
Well, this, even though like Joaquin is by far the main character in this, like Bo is like just Joaquin, and Joaquin's a difficult guy. Obviously not too difficult because Ari chose to do it again with him. But yeah, like that, I would imagine it's almost like an alt-mini thing, because Altman's like the old like standard of crosstalk and like improvisational dialogue.
He cites Nashville as a major.
Oh well, yeah, there you go.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Like where it's almost verite in a lot of ways. Like he wants to just like show people as they are, even though he also wants to have style. Like he's someone with the ability to do best of both worlds. It's really interesting because talking about it, I'm only saying positive things because I really only have positive things to say about the movie. I think where I run into an issue with the movie is like, it's hard not to just like watch it in discourse brain. Like, and I think like a superpower.
It was written in discourse.
No, exactly. And like a superpower of his, this is just like put you in like art brain world where like you're just taking something in.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's sort of a hard, I don't know. I sort of, while watching it, I was like, am I enjoying this?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you could say that about any of his movies.
No, but I can't. Watching Bo, I was just like euphoric the whole time because it is
Bo's special.
It has a lot of, I mean, even like something like Hereditary, a ton of like deeper, like observational thoughts on human nature, but like something that is so spark plug, like about immediate issues is hard to watch at just as entertainment. It's really hard. It makes you want to think about things in a more analytical way. It makes it hard to enjoy sometimes.
I do think that's a great point, because I do think that it's a movie that is throwing so much at you that you are almost having to have that moment in real time of like, wait, how do I feel about this? Like it is, so much of it. It's so
how did this
real
issue impact me during this time?
Yeah.
Well, not even just during this time. Like and a lot of it's played for humor. Like I think of the first time that we meet the Deirdre O'Connell character is we hear her listening to like some fucking conspiracy theory shit about like 56, the importance of the year 56. It's the year Tom Hanks was born, and when he get COVID, and he was 56.
That's so funny.
It's really good.
So goddamn funny. And there's a lot of those that are played for laughs. I'm thinking a lot of the young liberal stuff, but just in general, all of these different things, whether it's a person walking through a supermarket and they can't wear a mask because they have asthma or something like that, it like takes you back to these moments where you're like, I have to have an opinion on this issue right now.
Because the internet told me to.
And that's kind of, that is the point.
Well,
like,
also
that is
just like, I don't.
It's
like,
interesting. I would love to see this movie like, I don't know, 20 years from now, just to know like how it ages in that way.
Yeah, it'll be a great thing to show people who weren't there.
Right.
You know, it'll be a good thing to like show our kids and be like, this is what it felt like.
Yeah.
Like
this is back when we could go outside during the daytime.
the supermarket scene in particular. Yeah, this is back when it was optional to wear a mask. Yeah. But the supermarket scene in particular, where he, you know what I mean?
The arrows on the ground in the aisles. There's a lot of little subtle things. I was like, oh,
yeah,
God,
that's
6
stuff,
feet.
And just, you know, because he takes his time in those scenes, like watching the way people are sort of reacting as someone gets close to them. Where you'd be like at Publix and you'd be like, is that guy too close to me? Like, do I need to like?
And he's not wearing a mask.
When you heard somebody coughing near you, it was like, I gotta run.
I honestly still feel that way. I mean, last night during Fantastic Four, the lady right next to me was sniffling and coughing.
Let me tell you, I coughed I think I sneezed a couple of times during Eddington, and I was like, this is a bad look. I should not be doing this right now.
Mask up.
Crisis actor.
So there is, we could be here for another like hour and a half talking about this movie. There's so much to get into.
Yeah, I
but
know. I'm sorry.
I'm curious what you guys think about specifically this. I guess we can kind of split it into chunks, because you have the come up, right, which is introducing the characters, introducing the town. Then you have like sort of the fulcrum point where the story starts to tighten. And then you have this like insane finale, just bravura sequence that I just have to tip my cap to Mr. Ari Aster.
Yeah, because
for everything that happens. This insane shootout is just unbelievable.
It's exactly. I mean, it's just another thing that he has now shown that he can do.
He's just an action guy all of a sudden.
He can shoot anything.
He could make Hardcore Henry too.
It's really, really, really remarkable. He has certain things that show up in each of his films, or most of them. You're so right, Hunter.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
But there's certain thing, you know, themes like across his films, but like I've never seen him shoot something and been like, oh, he could have depicted that. Like, you know what I mean? The way, for example, of both, the way that he depicts Beau's birth and Beau's Afraid is almost all of the same filmmaking techniques as Joaquin going into the hospital at the end of the movie.
Yes. Which is crazy. Shout out to the pit again, to think that these people are dealing with COVID. Mm-hmm. And now there's a guy who's like stabbed in the face, and he has COVID too.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that? Yeah. You're just like you're a fucking just nurse, like fully PPD'd up, and you're on your like 50th patient of the hour, and then this guy comes in.
Yeah.
With like stab wounds on his face.
Well, also you got to think about how many other bodies are coming in there that were either almost completely dead. How many are getting black and white wristbands or red wristbands as they're coming in?
We need the code. We need the code.
I do wonder about like what the hospital system is like in
Eddington.
World.
I know in Eddington.
Do they even have a hospital?
Has anyone ever been stabbed before?
I don't think so. One little moment little bit that I love about this entire third act that we have, because really it's the movie flips as soon as
he shoots him.
As soon as he shoots the mayor. Yeah. As soon as Pedro dies, like the movie becomes something different.
Yeah.
I love that there is the I don't remember what the actual character's name is, but the native police officer who knows from like jump like what is going on.
He's
here.
on it.
And it's something that's almost pointing to to me at least, I'm reading this as everything that's happening in this city. You're like fake social justice warrioring. You're like weird data mining thing that you're doing. Like these are all deeply American issues. They're not deeply white issues. Like this is a deeply American idea, and like somebody who is native, like they have lived on this land longer than anybody, they're almost like above it. They can see past the noise of all of the bullshit of the internet and everything that's out there. And it's like, I see you for who you are and like what you did. While also still being like kind of on the sidelines of the story. Like the movie does not become about him inherently.
No, well,
but
again,
you have the moment of him seeing the handwriting and then just running. It's so good.
I think
It's
that
such an incredible moment.
I think that if this movie wanted to win Oscars, that guy would have solved everything and saved everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You just hand him the second half of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think this movie is better for not doing that. I mean, I would love like the native side of this movie. I don't think,
Oh yeah, man. I like.
I don't think Ari Aster's the guy to do it.
That's,
Yeah,
that's
again,
the thing. I think
yes.
I think he knows his place.
Yeah.
As like a fucking white guy.
But this
like,
this part of the country, you're just gonna run into a lot of tribal officers. Like
Yeah.
tribal police is very prevalent.
I mean,
Very common.
Joaquin falls onto Geronimo's skeleton at one point.
That's
Like, it's
so funny.
It's
That's
great.
Such a great.
It's
gag.
great because again, it's showing like it weirdly has nuance to it because earlier in the movie they make fun of like the sort of land acknowledgement, like soft neoliberalism thing,
Yeah.
but then also they are very explicitly saying like, yeah, this is all on the grave of natives.
yeah,
Like
literally.
this is all fucked.
Yeah.
Like I think it's a lot more willing to go there than people think, particularly in the third act. Because yeah, I mean, like you said, you can have any read you want on the movie until he starts shooting everyone. And then you're like, okay, so Joe's not a good guy. Whatever.
Do you
You know, like
Yeah.
Do you guys think I just thought of this, so I haven't workshopped this. And maybe Ari Aster didn't workshop it either, but hear me out. Do you think that part of the sort of little button on the end of this movie, because the last scene is the data center, right?
yeah,
Or the last shot, right?
Yes.
So I was just thinking about like why choose that. Obviously, there's many reasons why. There's not just one. But what if one of them, especially what you're saying about like sort of the native undertones, what if this movie is about how technology is colonizing humanity
Yeah.
in the same way that like white people colonize natives? That the same thing that America did to wipe out Native Americans and now create this mess that we're in, we're just gonna do it all over again, but with technology.
I mean,
that's deep.
I honestly, I think that's a smart choice. Like, I think that is something. I think that you might be onto something there. I think that leads directly into the whole algorithm AI central thesis of this movie.
the full
We're all
takeover.
victims of the algorithm.
That's a great take. I think I would love to ask Ari that. Because also,
I wonder if he thought about it.
well,
Yeah.
because also the general, like my general read on it was like, regardless of side, in any case, the money wins
Yeah.
because
Yep,
like
the house always
well
wins.
because
and
bo-
the worst people behind
yeah
the money.
because both sides are populated by opportunists,
Mhm.
and when you are someone like that, when you are acting in your own interest, the thing in America that you are acting for is money.
more money,
And
all
so-
the most money.
Yeah, so whatever side you're on, that's the thing you're going to do. The worst outcome for that town is that data center being there. That's the worst thing that happens to the town in the whole movie, is that it's going to eat all their water.
Mhm.
Like, it's going to kill this
Yeah,
town.
they don't know what's coming. Whatever disagreements they have, whatever little back and forth they just experience is nothing
Yeah, exactly.
compared to what's
It's
You
coming.
would
all
think
in the
so,
shadow of something way worse.
You would think so, but then there are some counties in the state of Florida that are actively drinking shit water because they don't want to speak out against the Republican Party. So maybe that's a hopeful view. I think like broadly to that point too, as well though, with what you're saying as far as I lost my train of thought now. Talking about the shit water just got me distracted and angry.
Well, let's talk about just the final moments of this movie. Joaquin completely just gone, barely alive. And he is the mayor of Eddington. Joe Cross is the mayor, and his wife, or his wife's mom, his mother-in-law, is now basically his wife.
She's basically the mayor of Eddington.
Yes, she is
like
the mayor.
She's like the shadow mayor. A lot of, again, if he's someone from the Southwest, Gabby Giffords.
Dude is
in a
wheelchair.
The Gabby Gifford thing is a totally different scenario, in which, like, obviously I'm not thinking that he sees like Gabby Giffords as some kind of villain in any case, but like, in this like artistic sort of projection way, that's, it's hard.
A victim of a crime.
You hate to say it, but that's clearly, it's Southwestern government official who's like,
I guess the main difference is that she didn't go on a fucking shooting spree.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
Well, that we know of.
I don't think he's trying to say anything about Gabby Giffords, but that's like in like the dream state of like writing something. That's what he's taken that from.
Right, exactly. I love the time that this movie takes right at the end there, just to show you what this guy's life is like now. He's not even there.
It's so bad.
He might as well be dead.
His house has been gorgeously renovated with the data center money.
Yeah.
It's been very like ADA fitted. He's got a full-time male nurse who is fucking his
all in the same bed.
His former mother-in-law in his bed. I like the choice that we don't see them fuck with him in the room, but we know that they're doing.
Where is he gonna go? He can't move.
We can clearly infer that
he's just actively getting cucked.
He's seen them fuck. Yeah, like it's so.
But it's almost like a level above cucking, because it's watching your mother-in-law fuck somebody else.
You're
it's not even like watching your wife.
ex-mother-in-law.
Yeah.
When you're and she's showing you videos of your ex-wife getting like cucked.
Yeah, double cuck.
The sounds that he makes when he's watching that video are
he's like squirming.
Joaquin is so good at
He's really good.
He is so good at whimpering.
Yeah.
He's the best whimperer that we have. He's cross-eyed.
Well, so this, and sorry, I remembered my point from earlier, but this kind of ties into this about the house always wins, about with Gold Magikarp, with this data center always being on top. One thing that I've been thinking about a lot in this third act, while Joaquin is running around and people are shooting at him, obviously after the fact we have that it was Antifa that was coming after him. Do you guys remember seeing the burning cross that was in there? Because I at first thought like, oh, these are some Nazis that are coming in here. But I think that one of the things, to the point about the house always wins, if this town went fully left, went the other way, then I think they would just hire Nazis to come in there and just try and like kill everybody. Like, I think it's a thing where it's these crisis actors can take many different forms for how they're going to present themselves to society. It doesn't really matter. I think that what is interesting is right before we get the final shot with the data center, we have Michael, who's still just out there like hunting, because he's a victim of this.
Fully traumatized.
Whatever side things were going to come down, there's always going to be fallout in some way. And it's the Michaels of the world that are victims to the people like, who's the other guy who's the guy that,
shout out to Luke Grimes.
What's his that deputy's name? Is his name actually Guy? I think it might just be.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He
could not wait for like the first chance to be racist.
So
he was
quick.
like, God, we
have to kill the black guy.
I always knew there was something about the way that he talked and the way that he looked that I just knew he had the capacity to kill a guy.
And and again, it's one of those, like, that's another good plot detail of like if you're really watching it, you know where the movie's at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's giving dumb people an out to not really see all that stuff, but like, come on. We know that Ari Aster isn't centristing this whole thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, one bad side is like being cringe, and then the other bad side is like killing people.
Yeah,
exactly. I think that part of the statement that he's trying to make is that, you start out by defying the mask mandate, and then very quickly you find yourself just machine gun, just unloading into the town that you're supposed to be protecting.
Yeah.
Like there is a very clear statement to be made there.
You can go down, you can fall down that rabbit
Yeah,
hole.
the brain rot is the good shit that will poison you to do that, right?
Yeah, when you are
he's supposed to be the protector of this town, and then he's the one destroying.
He's just taking a fucking Tommy gun to the streets.
It rocks. Yeah, the whole ending rocks. Yeah. It's very Tarantino. It's very like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, sort of alternate history and like reality at the end there of just like, yeah, what if the Antifa thing was real? You know, like what if they really fucking came in there?
Well, it's the data center, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what
yeah, it's they're on the data center's private jet, and they're just mercenaries hired by the data center to
just like wreak havoc and just like kill all sides, make sure that.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean the mayor's dead at this point.
They
need to ensure that whatever
whoever
outcome
gets
happens
in there,
yeah,
has to be on their side. And they figured out that Deirdre will.
Right.
Yeah, it's very, but again,
well, I think almost to that point, sorry to interrupt. I just am like thinking through the thing. I almost don't even know if they like, at this point, they have like laid the seeds enough that they're just like, we don't really like, maybe we want to kill actually this Joaquin who's like running against the mayor, but more than anything, we want to wreak the havoc of Antifa as like Antifa is controlling this, and we are a company that stands against those actions.
Yeah.
And therefore, you should let us plant our roots here. Like, it doesn't even matter that they're like hand-picking the mother-in-law.
No, I don't think that's the case. Here. I think that, I think they're like, oh, if we sow chaos in this town, we have a better chance of like, there will be a vacuum of power and we can take it.
Yes.
Like, they didn't have her pick.
Or maybe they had enough intel to know that Joe Cross would be the one to go on the fucking shooting spree and that they would goad him into it and that he would somehow come out on top. They didn't account for O'Brien coming in and hardcore Henry shooting his way into that shit.
I think they wanted Joe dead because they didn't know. They didn't know if he'd be on their side. And so they tried to kill him.
He's too volatile.
Yeah, so
he puts too many stickers on his truck.
They didn't. He was against the guy that they were paying very well to be on their side.
He actively actually did have a stance against the data center. His whole thing was, we don't want this to become Facebook New Mexico.
Right.
So
facts. That was a great sign. I love that.
I feel like there's so many layers to this character. Like, you can really read it in so many ways, because I think the key part of it is that he doesn't enter this story as a radical person. Mm-hmm. He is just like
a dumb guy.
Yeah, he's just a dumb guy.
Everybody in this movie is dumb. Like, in some way, they're like dumb or uneducated for the most part. Like, they're easily manipulated.
Except maybe Sarah. I think that's
the thing, is she is.
I don't think she's dumb.
No, she is annoying, but she is a smart person. That's why, I really kept coming back to her,
inexperienced,
thinking about the movie.
Grew up in a small town.
Is she? Yeah, she is like she is an intelligent character who is trying to do her best, but like, it's easy to laugh at her because
imagine what it must be like to grow up in a place like this.
She's clearly a kid who like doesn't fully know what to do, but she's like really trying.
I think that this movie is still trying to paint her as like kind of annoying, though. Like,
oh no,
I think that like
she's super annoying.
I wouldn't say annoying. I would just say it's a source of comedy.
I think that it's a thing where it's supposed to be like,
she's annoying, but she's not.
Centrists and Republicans find this fucking annoying. You doing a TikTok dance after reading a James Baldwin book is like stupid and dumb and kind of annoying.
But maybe that gets some people to pay attention to James Baldwin.
No, it doesn't. That has there has never been a person.
Maybe she read James Baldwin because she saw someone else doing it.
Somebody's just like, shit, I voted for Trump in 2020, but I saw this like fucking renegade dance to James Baldwin, and now I'm gonna change my political views. No one has ever thought that before.
No,
and I think that kind of
mindset if you're 17, yeah.
What I think that kind of mindset is what Ari Aster is like trying to be like. Democrats, just shut the fuck up. Just like it's going back to the Bo Burnham thing of like, could anybody please just shut the fuck up? You do not have to have a thought about every single thing all of the time.
That character, no. Ted represents Democrats. Sarah does not. Sarah represents she is Sarah and Brian and Ted's son represent the kids who had their adolescence stolen by the pandemic. There is an entire generation underneath us who had their upbringing like basically evaporated by COVID.
And Ted's son is a little fuck, by the way, isn't he?
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Sending a picture of him like kissing Sarah to Brian. What a little fuck.
Yeah, well,
can you imagine doing that even as a kid?
Yeah.
What a dickbag. You know what? I'm glad he got shot.
Glad he got shot in the head.
Fuck you, buddy.
I want to talk about Brian because I laughed harder than probably I have in a long time.
The funniest scene of the
other than friendship, it's the funniest shit ever. But Sarah, I think that there's so much more to that character. Obviously not a major character in the film, but so much more than just a punchline. Like, it's really funny, everything with all of those kids. But I keep coming back to the scene that you shouted out of her, like, pleading with Michael to join her. That is not performative. She's not filming herself saying that to
That's
him.
what I'm saying is she has a soul.
She has belief.
She has a heart, and
that has to come from somewhere.
I think it's like I think he's just doing both things with her. He's showing that like as you know, like a white woman on the left, like there's only so much she can do without looking cringe. And like the James Baldwin thing is clear, you know, it's just like, wow, that's cringe. And it's like, oh, you could see it as easily like overstepping, you know what I mean? And just like, you know, trying to show people how good you are.
But she's also not a grown ass adult.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like, it's showing like how like there is an inherent sort of cringeness in trying to do good. Like,
yes,
it is cringy to try to be good because a lot of the time you're going to end up just looking like you are trying to be
because I'm a punk rocker. Yes, I am.
It's hard.
Jesus Christ.
It's just hard. She's a really, really nuanced character in the middle of all this, which is funny because I wanted more out of the Brian character, to be honest. Like maybe
he just wants to get laid.
I mean, maybe he's a limited actor. I might feel. I don't. He kind of gave nothing, and it fits the character because it's a character who's a sociopath. But like, I don't know. I was just kind of like, every time that we saw that Sarah character, I was like, wow, like she's one of the only people in this movie that like is outside of the world of pure cynicism.
I think so. I think that I agree. I feel like I agree with a lot of like what Sarah represents as far as like, I do think that she is a person with real ideals. I think that one of the points that this movie is trying to make, though, is that even if you do have real ideals, a lot of times we are all susceptible to this. Young liberals do it in the most annoying way possible. Of like, whether it's cringe or whatever it is, like it is something where it is polarizing to people. Unless you are already part of that same exact hive mind, you are not bringing anybody else in with you. You have closed the gates of the party to the point of like, she did not give a fuck about Brian until he actually shared beliefs with her. That's not to say that she doesn't have her own strong beliefs that are, as three people who are very left leaning, like that we all agree with her ideals, but it's in the performative nature of how she is trying to coerce people that it's still not meeting people.
But it's the world she knows. She grew up in a world surrounded by the internet. So it's the only language that she knows to be able to communicate.
Well, that's
so. I think
that's what I'm saying.
And I think to that point, this kind of goes in with Brian to tie it into Brian a little bit. Is that I think the Brian character on the flip side is somebody who has no ideals whatsoever, and it's representing a different side of the Gen Z, Gen Alpha below us.
Boys
that
just horny.
They're just horny, yes, but also just want to be accepted. Like they just want friends, man. They just want people to not leave them behind.
Same with Joe.
Whether that's girls they like. Same thing with Joe. It's not even just isolated to that, but I think that COVID especially really exacerbated that for the youth, where it's like, hey, I have to like have the same ideals as the people around me, or else I'm not gonna have friends anymore. And like this friend that I've had my whole life isn't gonna like me. This girl isn't gonna like me. And the really deep feeling of loneliness of there's a group chat happening and I'm not part of it, or there's this hangout that's happening and I didn't get invited. I had no more space in the car for me. Is something that is so rooted deep in childhood, like going back for all of us, like growing up, like that same kind of feeling of being left out of the party, but is ramped up to another fucking level in the day and age of the internet. And I think that like when you have a character like Sarah on one hand, who has such a firm sense of self, whether even like putting how she portrays herself online to the side, she has beliefs in something. Brian is just somebody who he's regurgitating everything that is told him, because everything that's told him by his friends and the girl that he likes.
Yeah, like
he can't think for himself.
Yeah,
comments.
Exactly. And it's again, it's one of those things that sort of, if you're really watching it, it speaks toward like what the movie actually thinks. Like, again, like I think it's really stupid to call this movie centrist, because despite the fact that he's on this trajectory with like being so leftist and just regurgitating all the like the liberal talking points,
explaining his whiteness to his parents,
he doesn't end up being David Hogg. He ends up being Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
Because if that's all you are, that's the side you end up on. Like, it's very, very explicitly being told to you. Like, I screamed. If you were that hollow in your ideals and you were just trying to grift, it's way easier to do it on that side. Not to say that you can't do it on the left, but it's a lot easier over there. There are a lot of people doing it. It's a good paycheck. And so I think it works out really well.
And that's why we're announcing our new partnership with
the NRA.
Yeah, exactly.
With Tim Pool.
Yeah.
It's just that's why I found myself so interested in the Sarah character, because it's really, really nuanced, where she strikes me as someone who
she's trying.
Well, and she strikes me as someone who's being cringe, but like once she grows up, like she even has a line in it where she's like, and again, it can be taken as like you laughing at her, but also like she's right, where she's like, well, we have to sort of keep an eye on like, just feeling like we're doing good versus doing good. Like we might actually really want to be in Albuquerque because that's where like we'll be seeing this shit.
Yeah.
Like that's like
that's
really smart.
Very
smart
line
that's
yeah.
She's right. Like that is someone who wants to be making a difference, not just like someone who wants to be gaining clout in fucking
But
Eddington.
also, I think to that point too, it does work two ways, because you can view it as how we are giving it, which is that there is more of an air of sincerity. You can also read that as it would actually be better for her, for
she
like her
wants to be
followers,
seen
so
in
that she can be
Albuquerque.
seen.
For my followers
followers is like my following will want to see me in Albuquerque. It'll look better for like whenever I do go on like an Insta Live, that
which
like I'll have
is
a big crowd with
literally
me.
the Emma Stone character in The Curse. Like if Sarah grows up to be Emma Stone in The Curse, like you took a wrong turn,
She lost.
girl.
Yeah.
But if you actually adhere to the core ideas of what you say you care about, then you won't go down that path, and it won't be all for, clout's sake.
Yeah. So again, something I want to circle back to again in this discussion is the reason that this isn't like a 5-star movie to me is because this is what it makes you think about. Like this whole discussion that we've had is about like,
but that's what he wants. That's
I
why
think
he
it's
made
kind of
it.
the point,
I mean, yeah, totally. It's just like how, like, when it comes to like best of the best experiences watching films,
Sure.
like, is that what you're looking for?
Sure.
I guess that I'm finding I tend to like things that are like transcending reality, not just like reflecting it.
Yeah. Metropolis.
Yep.
Yeah,
Megalopolis.
Crypto the dog.
Megalopolis.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There
You only
should've
like
been-
Opolis.
There should have been like a little fucker in this,
Yeah.
like a little
If this
guy.
was Eddingtonopolis, you would have been.
Who I'm not getting. What action figure? What little
Did you see A24 put out? You guys,
Is there like a Labubu for this?
you guys, there is a bobble. There are two bobbleheads.
Oh, bobble! I have seen the bobbleheads. Yeah, I've seen the bobbleheads.
If we can add to the setup
Can you
here.
can you take something? Can you take out a loan from the Patreon so we can get the bobbleheads for the studio?
Well, let's pick one out. Do you want okay, the 2-pack is $86 for both Joe Cross and Ted Garcia bobbleheads. That's not too bad.
That's not bad at all.
Wait, I need your membership, your AAA
I
24 membership.
canceled that like
God
months ago.
Damn it.
So here's a little hack that I shouldn't be giving away, but we've been potting for 2 hours. So every year I join AAA 24 the month before my birthday so that I can get the free birthday gift, and then I cancel my AAA 24 subscription.
$86 for two of them. There was a shirt.
Oh, I have seen the shirt. I saw the shirt because it's like pretty subtle on the back, on the front, and then on the back is like all of Joe's signs on his car.
Yes.
It's great. It's
Which I
really
think
good.
might already be sold out potentially. There is a Paula's Tea shirt. Paula's Mexican and Greek restaurant.
Oh, the Mexican and Greek restaurant. That's great. I love that.
And on the back it says, as of May 28th, operating at 50% capacity.
Nice. That's cool.
I do think the other t-shirt is sold out because I did look at it earlier today and now it's gone.
All right. Well, the bobbleheads are still in stock at least.
Yeah.
So it looks like
$48 a piece, $86.
At that point,
for the
we
two
might
of
as well
them.
just buy both of them.
AAA 24 exclusive, so I may have to sign up. Okay, any other thoughts on this? I feel like there's a lot we haven't touched on. Like, we haven't really talked about Pedro that much. I guess he's not really in the movie too much. Did we talk enough about Mr. Homeless Man? A stranger wanders into town.
Yeah, the Western of it all. I mean, I think that in a lot of ways he is there to kind of show how, especially, it's becoming a little bit more of a talked about subject now. Maybe it's just because it's becoming more of a pronounced issue in not only Central Florida, but in Los Angeles, and it's reached kind of the global or the national news level as far as the unhomed population and like how to properly handle them. I think that the very first scene that we get with that is pretty expertly crafted, where there's like
The beginning of the
the
movie.
two signs, which are like the Pedro side, which is just like lock him away. I just don't want to look at him. And Joe's side's just like, I just have to like assault him. Like that's the only thing that
I gotta
know
get him
what
down
do.
to the ground.
Like they
'Cause
just
I'm a
don't.
cop.
They just don't know what to do
Yeah.
with this unhomed man. So they're just like, I.
And then he ends up fucking
Settle it.
shooting him and throwing his body in the river, which is crazy. That's the perfect prelude to him
That's
killing
right. That is the first
Ted.
kill that he does. Is the homeless guy. Yeah, I forgot that.
Yeah,
scene
speaking
before,
toward
yeah.
a shock.
That's really the first moment where
You're like,
Kip
what
was
the
oh
fuck?
shit. Okay, well,
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's one of the great unspoken things in real life in society right now is just like what is the move when it comes
I mean,
to the
we've
homeless?
talked about it like off mic. That's just a big thing. There've been multiple homeless shelters in the Central Florida, Orlando area that have gotten shut down recently. So it's or low income housing that have been shut down. So it's just like, okay, well, you're saying people on the streets, but now it's criminalized to be homeless. And it's this thing where nobody really knows how to deal with it. And the inclusion of that in this movie by Ari is such a very sharp and astute point. It's almost even all the better that he doesn't even have the characters comment on it. They're just like, I just don't like looking at it. Just get this problem out of my face so I don't have to look at it.
Like no one's into it, and they truly like I've had the chance to work with like a good amount of nonprofits that directly deal with homelessness or people at risk of homelessness. It is the best people in the world.
Yeah.
It is the most empathetic.
You have to be for that
understanding.
role.
Exactly, because it is people who mentally are often like completely on the brink, are often repeatedly making bad decisions, where you have to sort of square that with the fact that they still do need and want help. And the fact that this movie doesn't have anyone equipped to deal with that is very, very similar to real life. It is right now so much nationally of what we are leaning on is nonprofits that are populated mostly by volunteers who just like are the purest hearts you've ever met in your life. Like it would be too kind of this movie to depict those people, because they're
they don't belong in the town of Eddington.
Yeah, they are
good.
rare, and one out of there's 2,000 or 3,000 people in this town. It's less than that. It's less than 1 in 2,000 that are truly like that.
Yeah, I also think that like it's just smart from like a pure filmmaking perspective for Ari to totally invert the whole Western the Western trope of stranger wandering into town to it's a homeless man wandering into a town during COVID. And so everybody's like,
and coughing.
Ew, you're already homeless. Now it's COVID. Stay away from me. Like it's kind of compounded on itself.
I honestly love that piece as just a symbol of the events of the movie sort of kicking off, right? Like this town was sort of fine until they were forced to confront all of these problems in a way that they were not equipped to.
I think one other piece, and we haven't talked too extensively about the filmmaking of this movie, but I think that one thing from that side, it looks incredible. We
sounds amazing.
Shout to
Kanji.
The kanji, the look of this movie is phenomenal. I think specifically there is because everybody thinks about like, we had a joke on this podcast of like, it feels like a COVID movie, which is just that it feels small. It feels claustrophobic. And this movie is shot claustrophobic, but in grand vistas. So we are looking at big open space. It looks like a Western, but it is just a little bit tighter than you want. And whenever we go, I was kind of surprised in listening to some interviews with Ari after seeing this movie, how little handheld there is in this movie, because so much of it feels like whenever you are on the move, it feels very claustrophobic when you're
especially at the end,
when you're on, when you're in this shooting sequence, it feels like you were right there.
The shot of him running through the museum is so good.
It's expert. Like it's phenomenal on like level upon level. But I think that the dichotomy of having this in the West, and every time that I go out to visit the West, like for family or whatever, I'm just always struck by how much bigger the sky feels. I think Ari does a really good job of capturing that, but in the same way that it still doesn't feel like you can breathe with the same level of depth that you should be able to when you're in this big open space.
Yeah. Love the nighttime shots. Just super eerie, unsettling. He's carrying over a lot of what he did in his previous movies into this one. It doesn't feel like a total departure.
So generally I in our fantasy film league, I drafted this movie.
Right.
Is this going to be a 0 point getter?
Well, I drafted it with the vision, knowing, we didn't know much about the movie, but we knew it was like a small town sort of, we
knew COVID was going to factor.
We knew it was about COVID. So like, you figured it's going to be a little bit political, and it's going to be small town, and it's going to be sort of depicting multiple sides of a situation. I drafted it under the impression that it would feel like Three Billboards. It does. Mm-hmm. It feels like Three Billboards, but good. I hated Three Billboards. But it feels a lot like that movie.
How come Chief Cross?
It has so much tonal, like thematic and visual similarity to that movie in every way. That movie went on to get nominated for every award in the world. You know why? Because it did the thing I was saying earlier, where like, oh, what if the native sheriff actually solves everything when we get that ending?
Oh my God, I forgot. I'm gonna be honest, I forgot how Three Billboards ends.
Well, it ends with. It's not that exact thing, but it ends with the shitty guy getting his, getting redemption, like getting to make a good choice. And at the end, you're like, maybe he's not so bad after all. And it sucks. It's not earned at all. But there is so much there's so much overlap with this movie, and it's really funny because I think this movie might end up getting absolutely nothing because Ari has no interest in that. He could have so easily
Right.
that
would have been a layup for at
there's
least, like,
so
a
many
best original
small tweaks
screenplay.
that would have given, you know, voting bodies an out to feel like they're patting themselves on the back. But endorsing this movie doesn't make you feel good.
Hey,
it doesn't.
Bo got a Golden Globe nomination for Joaquin.
Well,
So-
I think not Golden Globe, but I do think that there's a chance that we could see a couple Spirit Awards. We'll see like how the rest of the year goes. I think they need a little bit of a bigger box office week in order for it to
Dude,
go.
it didn't even make 5 million.
Yeah, it's
nothing.
really
And why would
struggled.
it? It's like he made a movie about the thing that you should least make a movie about if you're trying to have any sort of success.
Yeah.
Like that, and that's sort of why I admire the movie so much, even though, like I'm saying, I'm struggling to sort of grapple with how much I truly enjoyed it.
Mhm.
It's really funny and it's like a delight to look at, but like
it's just,
activating all these other parts of your brain that are not like pleasure receptor
right.
parts, you know.
I
And
think
so,
that's the thing, is that it's invoking feeling. And I think that that's kind of the thing that I'm like responding to the most is like, this movie made me feel something. I'm sorry, Superman, I didn't really feel anything whenever I was watching that movie.
Yeah, because
like,
you're not a punk rocker.
I don't think that kindness is punk, and
You
I'm
don't.
sorry, and
And that's okay.
I know that that's problematic to say,
Yeah.
in this day and age that we live in. But
You hated that he had his underpants outside of his suit.
I thought that
Who
was like
does that?
I thought that was like a little bit too kooky for my Superman. No, I think that like that movie is fine for what it is, but I think that a movie like this that just is making me think so deeply and has so much nuance to it, which is what we're getting to. It's not just like it's making me think, but in like the brutalist way, where it's like, here are the ideas. That's what they are. They're like black and white. I'm saying the thesis of what this movie is. The fact that there is so much gray in a movie like this is, I think, what makes it special. And I don't think that this is like a 10 out of 10 all-time perfect masterpiece. Like, I don't think this is a perfect movie, but I do think that it is masterful for what it is trying to do, for what it is trying to make you think about, what it is trying to make you feel.
I think it could get to 5 stars with time. I think that
Well,
the more
see how
we
it
look
ages.
back
Yeah.
on it,
yes,
the
It can
bravery
get to 5 stars
of it,
without being perfect.
the bravery of it, that he decided to make a movie about this.
yeah, man.
when nobody else is touching
I think that
the subject.
I think I'll like this way more in 10 years, but right now
It's a little too.
it feels
too soon.
raw. Yeah, it just it's just activating like the discourse part of my brain, and I'm like, I don't want to. I'm going to the movies right now.
Yeah.
That's not for right now.
Show me
I can-
crypto.
I can look at Twitter later. Like,
Right.
I can
Yeah,
look-
man.
I can doom scroll Twitter
Yeah.
before bed with
And-
my glasses on, falling asleep. Let me tell you that the images of every time he's laying in bed with just the white light on his
Yeah.
phone, just scrolling with glasses on, is
All the shots of
Hits-
phones and screens.
also, I know you feel the same way as a person with glasses. It's a little bit too close to home of waking up in the morning, like glasses like disheveled, they're like half off, half on. I threw them across the room in the middle of the night
Yeah.
when I fell asleep at 2:30 in the morning on Twitter. Like, it's a little bit too real, and I get that it touches a spot that hasn't fully scarred over, especially with the events of the election last year.
Yeah.
For a lot of people.
And also the fact that things are worse now.
Yeah,
Well,
that too.
no, exactly. That's why I think it's interesting. Like, what
It's-
it's almost like that last year the Trump movie with Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
Right. That
It's-
movie is going to get lost to time because Trump won again. Or at least it'll be
Yeah,
revisited
it's
after Trump.
because what's
But-
going on now has made you more than ever not want to feel any empathy for the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're realizing that just how harmful they can be.
They allowed this to slip further down than
Yeah.
it was at this point.
Exactly.
Yep.
But that being said, I still like the idea of just humanizing humans in a movie because that's the job of a movie. The job of a movie is not to tell you what you already think. It's to make you think about what's true.
Well, I think the job of this movie, well, not even the job of this movie. I think that the point of view of this movie isn't that there is no evil in the world. I think that inherently Ari thinks that there is true evil that is out there and it's living under the surface. It's saying that humans are not inherently evil. Humans are easily susceptible and they're easily swayed. Whether it's swayed to the good or the evil, whatever it is, we're all victims to this. At the end of the day, like, we're all just fucking flesh and blood and bone. Like, we are all kind of the same. We just need to get past like the fucking brain rot that we get sucked into and that radicalizes
Yeah,
us.
but this movie, it shows us that we probably won't.
No, it's so hard. Yeah, because it's not like it's entirely hopeless, but it's just presenting the problem. And I think that's a lot more noble than showing a solution that's not real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's still watching it, you're like, fuck, man. But I don't know. Again, like, working in local government colors a lot of how I feel about it, because you're forced to work with and associate with people on the exact opposite side, and it does humanize them, because you're like, oh yeah, you're just a person, but like you know, because of everything you've absorbed, you are able to exist with good and then also like ideology that is pure evil in the exact same brain.
Yes.
And it frustrates you to no end, but that's just like what a lot of people are.
Maybe there's going to be guys that watch this movie that will be like, hey, I was anti-mask, but I don't want to like shoot up my town. So maybe they'll think like, maybe I shouldn't have voted for Trump. You know, like,
I think like, the more likely scenario is, unfortunately, it's like Tucker Carlson calling fucking Donald Trump a pedophile and coming out against him, and then it's like, wait, I like Tucker Carlson. Wait a second. Like, I think that they have to hear from their own side before they will even be open to the idea of something. I think, again, maybe I am doing a little bit of forecasting in my head of how this movie is going to age, or like the optimist in me of how I hope this movie will age, that this will be not a dark cloud, because it's always going to be there. Like, this evil is always going to be there. If anything from the last decade has shown us, it's that this was always there. It was just waiting for the right figure to come along.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that this is forever. And I think that Ari is saying that this isn't forever, as long as we gain some kind of... We have to have a sense of self-awareness, whether you're on the left, whether you're on the right. We are never going to move past this as long as we are only listening to each other and talking past one another.
Until Galactus comes.
Sure.
He'll eat the planet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can you just send me back to Aaron Dimensional Space Jail now?
Where does this rank in Ari Aster's filmography?
Well, so that's
too like new.
It's too new, and again, I know I'll like it more in 10 years. But right now, it's last for me not because it's bad, because he's made two other incredible movies, and I haven't seen Midsommar. But
we love all his movies.
They're really good.
I was gonna say we're really splitting hairs. I will say
they're all borderline masterpieces.
I've only seen Beau is Afraid one time, and I haven't seen Hereditary in many years now at this point. For me, Midsommar is high and away. Midsommar, one of the best movies of the last 25 years.
Let's go.
If I was it didn't make my top 10 of the 25 whenever I was doing the New York Times list, but if I was going to do a top 20, it would be on there.
They're calling Hunter the Scorsese of this pod.
Yeah,
I mean, Ari Aster, especially with this movie, is becoming like one of the filmmakers of the generation.
It's really exciting, man. That's
why I fucking drafted it. Because this is a guy with the ability to, like, any movie now is going to be the one that at large people are like, okay,
and it's not going to necessarily just be a horror movie.
But he also
could do anything.
He also has the thing that a lot of great directors have. He has oppositional defiant disorder, where he needs to be like pushing against what people want.
I think it's more likely that he has a career like, and this is going to be a weird comparison, but I think he's closer to Sean Baker than he is to Quentin Tarantino. Like, I think that he is more likely to just be beloved by like that certain sect, and maybe there's a movie or two that does break through for wider audiences. But I think for the most part, he's going to be like one for the real heads and be like a little bit of a bastion that people are like, Ari Aster, yeah, I love that guy. I loved Hereditary. Like,
it's just,
he's gonna be one of those guys, but like, I don't think that he's ever going to make movies that are gonna gross $100 million.
It's just hard because he is
original ideas.
He is a provocateur. He likes to provoke the audience with every movie that he makes. It's just a matter of, so does a Tarantino, but also he has the scale and like the size, like he wants to be making big movies that people really like.
I think also it's a product of the time that, like, I don't know if Ari was making movies in the 90s, it's very different than making movies in the late 2010s.
And also
different movie
if Pulp Fiction was coming out right now, it would make, I mean, you know, it could make 50 million maybe,
Right.
but like it wouldn't be a huge thing.
Right.
So it's hard, but he has, there's no limit to his ability. It's just a matter of like, what does he want to make? And I don't know. I want him to just keep making stuff. That's, you know,
Maybe with Joaquin. Maybe it'll be one of those things where it's like every single one.
His other projects that he has lined up, is there any cast or
No.
anything connected?
He doesn't have anything. He is focused all the way on this right now.
I know he's a constant writer though. Like he is
Yeah.
always working on the next project.
He has multiple ideas for what he might do next.
yeah, he is one of those dudes though that just has like a billion scripts.
Yeah.
He's been writing
One
since he
of
was
them
a
is
kid.
a spin-off sequel to this.
Yeah.
Another one is apparently a sci-fi movie.
well,
which
what
I would love to see.
again,
that.
yeah, he just has it all sitting around because like he only I've listened to a lot of interviews with him about this movie, and only in one of them did he let slip that, like, you know, because it's not as good of a story to tell about like how you wrote the movie, but really like he wrote the original idea for this movie like way before COVID.
Yeah.
He just had like a Western sitting around about a small town sheriff mayor thing. And then COVID happened and he was like, oh yeah, I can just like merge that with
Genius.
COVID. Yeah. But that, you know, that doesn't sound really compelling, even though that's how the artistic process usually works, is you're just like repurposing different ideas.
Yeah.
So I would imagine he has a billion things just like sitting.
I feel like the cast, specifically Joaquin, really elevates this in a major way. And you could say the same thing about Bo.
He's a good caster. He
But-
knows how to cast and use.
I mean,
if you
look
put a
at
different
Bo-
if you put a different guy in this role, it's a different movie. It's not as nuanced.
I was saying earlier, well, I think you were in the bathroom, that like I kind of do. I wonder if this was the best part for Joaquin, just because like, what if this guy was more likable? But like you look at Joaquin, you're like, I don't trust him.
I find Joaquin charismatic. I'd follow him.
Well, I said
He has magnetism to him.
I said this on the Films for Breakfast episode, but I feel like there's a really good chance that what Ari is trying to do with this character is to show somebody who fully buys into his own fucking bullshit, who is saying things that he knows are lies, and then he believes those own lies.
Yeah, I mean,
so by the time that he's out there trying to, do this whole fucking shootout, it's not just to save his own ass and confirm the framing of his coworker, but it's also to actually take down the guy that he's framing.
Yeah.
Because he believes that the guy that he's framing is guilty for the crime that he himself committed.
Mm-hmm.
That's how into his own bullshit he is.
I'm never gonna complain about watching Joaquin.
No,
You know
well,
what
I
mean?
think that it's good because Joaquin is very good at playing dumb. Like, it's going back to like The Master. Like, he's just great at playing like very dumb, easily influenced guys.
Yeah,
like
and
this is a note that he has played before.
Well, and it's also
he does it well.
It's also he's good at playing a coward.
Yeah.
And that's mainly what this character is.
Yeah.
He's so the way that he acts around Michael once he's framing him is just so like he's such a pussy.
so
Trying to
small.
control
Yeah.
the protest.
Yeah, all that,
Oh
and
my
then
God.
and then once he's got Michael in the cell where he's just like Michael's like, hey Joe, what the hell, man? Look at me. Like
You've known me
this
for
is me.
years.
And he's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, he's like talking really quietly and like just avoiding
like
eye contact. Like
he's a fucking pussy about it.
I mean, that's what happened, man. That's what the internet and COVID and this time has done to people. It's like, someone all this time, and then the phone tells you
Mm-hmm. But
that
then
you have to hate them.
but it's a good microcosm of what I'm talking about in terms of like, this movie makes it hard to focus on what a good filmmaker Ari is, but like it ends with a couple shots, in particular one that just like somehow I've never seen it, and yet it's so obvious, of Michael shooting the hole in the target, and then it's a shot from behind the target
So good.
it's showing the target, and then like focus change to Michael through the tiny pinhole.
great. Oh,
It's
that's
like,
great
what the
shit.
hell, you're
Yeah.
so good.
Ugh.
Like That's the thing
Love
it's a Western movie. Like it follows so many Western conventions, not just where it's set. Like
the shot of
the plot, all of
Brian filming himself shooting.
I saved you. I saved you. It's so funny.
Really good shit.
But yeah, it's so interesting. I'm really interested in Ari, even if like I'm still stewing on this movie and how much I love it. You know, like he's just he could go anywhere.
I'm looking at the reception for it. It is his lowest rated movie so far, even lower than Bo.
It was.
I mean, a lot of even critics are just like, some of them are like, I fuck this movie.
Yeah.
Like people just don't want to look at this.
Right.
And I think
art,
that's kind
baby.
of, honestly, I think that's
art.
the point. Like, I think that if Ari made a movie that was about the current political climate that we are in and was about COVID, and it was like a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes, then that would feel disingenuous.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just like
that this is what it is. It's trying
exactly.
to provoke
It's impressive that this movie is watchable because people have been talking about it for years. Like, how are you going to make the COVID movie? Like, you know, since COVID came out, people have been grappling with that. Like, are we going to acknowledge it in this movie just because it takes place in 2020? Like, it's so hard. There's no guaranteed right way to do it. It's on the level of if someone was just like explicitly like if like Oliver Stone was like, I'm going to make the Parkland movie.
Oh God.
You know what I mean? Like, it's that level of like, no, don't do that. Like, do not make that.
Yeah.
No one will like watching that. And so the fact that I enjoyed it in any way is a miracle.
Yeah, I think if you say Oliver Stone, because one movie that I've heard Ari cite a couple of times is JFK.
Yeah.
And he was trying to like create the feeling of JFK, the paranoia, the conspiracy of it all. Even if, and like, almost it's kind of funny in some ways that the movie JFK, much of it has been debunked now because they're like, that wasn't true, or this was
Not
a
for
combination
Oliver.
of characters. But like,
No, well, the thing
that almost like feeds better into Eddington, that a lot of it isn't even fucking true, and it's still, there is the conspiracy behind it
also
all.
like yes for Oliver too, because like he's made a documentary since then.
That's right.
Yeah.
Where he fully endorses another theory.
Yeah.
So it's really funny.
Yeah.
Shout out Oliver. He's such a
He's
weirdo.
a cool guy.
But yeah, it's just like it's like ultimate ODD like thought process. Like, what is the last thing I should make a movie about?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make that. And he did. He did a good job. He did a good job.
Cool shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we can wrap it up there. Thank you all for listening to our thoughts on the wonderful movie Eddington.
Mhm.
Ari Aster's masterpiece? ? We'll see. Ask us in 5 to 10 years. In the meantime, please rate and review and subscribe, like and comment, and let us know your thoughts. Check out webottommike.net. Get every episode delivered in your email inbox. Join the Discord. Patreon.com/webottommike. $5 a month. Thank you to everyone who supports this podcast. Next week, Naked Gun? Perhaps.
Let's go.
Pew pew.
Also, teased it last episode. I'll tease it again. We're getting ready to dive into our next career arc series with a bracket. We're bringing back the bracket. We're going to let you decide the subject of our next series. So we'll unveil that before the summer is done, within the next few weeks. We're finalizing it now. But before then, yeah, a little Naked Gun, a little weapons action. There's a couple other summer movies to check out.
Yeah.
Drew has selected his victory pick for winning the Fantasy Film League last year.
Yeah.
So we won't reveal that just yet, but
and I'm still sort of salty that I don't get some sort of serious financial compensation for winning, because like the prize being like, oh, you get to do a podcast episode. Hey, guess what I get to do every week?
yeah, but you don't get to.
Are
pick
you like
whatever
mad
you
because
want.
you just like Venmo me once a year for winning our fantasy football league? So you're like, I won a fantasy league of some sort. I would also like to have
That's
some
true.
financial compensation.
Hey, like last year I like made profit in the league technically, but
Oh, okay.
the thing is, what I do when everyone sends me their dues is I just spend all that money.
Yeah.
So it didn't feel like profit at
So
all.
then you're just like, oh, cool. I don't owe myself $150.
Exactly. Anyway, we're talking American movie.
What if the prize is to have to listen to your Facebook lives about how you're running for mayor of Eddington.
That'd be cool. Or I got to like make one of you guys make a post.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That'd be really good.
Yeah. I'd rather do that. But yeah, I chose American Movie because I've never seen it, and I'm really excited too, because every single thing I've heard about it indicates that it might become one of my favorite things ever immediately.
Yeah.
So
Incredible movie.
yeah,
Can't
I didn't
wait
know
to
that you had
rewatch it.
seen it until
Yeah.
I looked on Letterboxd.
Can't wait to rewatch it. I watched it. That was actually a COVID movie. I'm pretty sure I watched it like in the doldrums of 2020.
Wow.
so.
And Ari didn't even think of including that in the
why
film.
didn't he just go to why didn't he show
He
a
didn't-
guy just sitting in his house just like, I'm trying to watch every Oscar movie. Shut up, babe.
What election?
His silence is deafening.
I'm on Out of Africa.
Fuck. No, Drew, you had a good point, which is why didn't Ari include the release of the Tenet trailer in Fortnite?
On Fortnite.
Which is one
Brian
of
should have
the
been on
moments
Fortnite.
burned in memory that happened during
That's
COVID.
what he should have brought up with Sarah. And then that's when Ted's son would be like, hey, did you leave your MAGA hat at home? He walks up to her, he's like, I just don't think that Chris would endorse that.
We didn't shout out enough, but just the scene with his parents at the dining room table when he explains his whiteness.
It's because none of us want to say the word retarded. But wow,
That-
it's so funny.
I was losing my mind.
Again, I
That was so fucking
funny.
I should have said
what
earlier,
the fuck
but
are you fucking talking about?
well, that's ultimately the gag on neoliberalism in this, is that they're the people who focus so hard on theoretical ideals and have no practical application in their life. That's the joke.
Yeah.
That's it. It's
All
perfect.
right. See you next time.
Good shit.
We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.